Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the canyon. Welcome back to a day of two things, a minimum of two things, potentially three things, but certainly no more than four things. The first thing is seasonal allergies. The editor is going to love it because he's going to have to edit out a lot of sneezing. And this, it's so good. I'm on 2 allergy pills. I'm on the blue one and the green one. Doesn't make a difference. This is also a Quickview, as you could tell by the thumbnail, and it is further incident of the wonderful generosity of channel members contributing, if not to my delinquency, then to my productivity. And don't get me wrong, many of you are guilty of assisting and contributing to my delinquency as well. Trenchers. We've not tried these. We've not tried these. And not only have we not tried these, you'll notice that's a blue dot on there. That's not the orange dot. That's a blue dot. That's Predator. So these are Predator Trenchers, which were handed off to me very recently, and so far as I can tell, they have not been run. They did not come fitted with foams, but we've had ProLines through here more than once. There are some ProLines still sitting up here on the rack. And the trenchers isn't it amazing that a ProLine tire perfectly fits a ProLine memory foam? It's not surprising to me particularly. What was surprising to me is how easily these mounted. I found that the mounting experience of the Predator compound trencher was easier on pretty much every level than mounting a GA trencher. That back ring just drops in, no juice, no nothing. So these, the front is a little more finicky. We've got more of a flat edge to try to get in there. But I had next to no issues mounting the other 3. We just mount the 4th. We do a little spin move, and we almost lined it up. This is where bubble juice comes in more handy, but I didn't want to lube these guys up too much, as the compound is like crazy soft. This has to be my first experience with Predator, because I feel like I would remember a tire that feels this positively gooey. And it is the perfect set of conditions for ye old Predator trenchers here. I can't imagine them doing any better than they will do right now. It is in the mid to low 50s right now. Currently inside the building, it is 59 degrees, a fabulous 59 degrees, which means outside on the course, out there on the desert biome, we're probably talking low 50s, and the rocks are going to be real cold. And everything that people who have driven Predator compound have told me, they do not like heat, so they are not going to get any. This video will have finished long before the air temperature approaches anything that could be regarded as warm. So those mount up super easy, and now that I see them up close to me in front, you can definitely see that almost like an oily sheen. It's not glossy. There's like a satin sheen to it. Compare that to a G8, which is just kind of a very lightly satin, but definitely more matte. So we are going to try Predator Trenchers on our boy here, Baseline. It should be I'm jumping ahead. This is allergy fueled. We would indeed be remiss. They sure look like 475s to me. 118. 45. How long is the list of tires that come in at 118.45? That's your 475 tire. It's a good looking tire. I should still have the whiteboard here from megalithics, from testing the megalithic. Didn't quite get Susan in the right spot. She just mowed a bunch of people down. We're trying to get the bench here sorted out to where there's a little more real estate. We're still trying to get the camera situation sorted out to get the lighting and the color depth and all that correct. And depth of field. I'm messing with depth of field. I have never had to mess with shutter speed, f-stop. Like, well, not in filming. Like, I've taken many a picture, and basically, here's some insight for people who really don't care and are only here to see a review of the Trencher, which has been out a while. Yeah, I'm behind the game. I use this Whitecaps baseball. If it's washing out, I'm assuming that's too bright. But, like, under here, we have no contrast, so we have to bring that up in post. The editor, we could bring the editor in here, and he could complain at much greater length about the difficulty of balancing light and color between two cameras that are used in different situations. It's a lot of work. We should get very little in the way of noise from these. This guy runs 465s, 475s all day. Oh, pardon me, sir. For those new to the Quickview, that's washing out quite a lot. The board. These are the points that we check in a Quickview format. The points that we check in a junk view format are shorter, but this is indeed a Quickview. These are Predator Trenchers. We go to Slick Rock to test basically just pure forward drive. We go to Daphne's line to test. It's basically positionability, directionality, and there's a breakover test where I have to go over a rock that will test how much of the tire's squishing down, because taller tire is going to clear it easier. This is test of side hill. This is a test of just pure, like, I'll talk about it when we're out there, but it separates the front and rear axles because they kind of have to work independently of one another. Here's where we test side luggability. Daphne's third is kind of a test of almost everything we've seen here, minus side hill. We test its ability to bump. We test the transition from soft substance to hard substance. It is dirt to rock. We test it again, Slick Rock on wet. And sometimes we will throw in, there should be another line here, that is the ability of the tire to self-right. So that's why this isn't a printout and it's still on a whiteboard, because, yeah, if we add in self-right, we'll put that in there like that. That's 10 things. 10 things that we will know about the ProLine Predator Trencher. So let's go know those things. Let's learn together as we sniffle our way through another Quickview. I'm trying to look forward to it, and I know that these are probably going to be really good, but at the same time, it's ProLine, you know. I'll do my best. I have to say, the wheel out here caught me off guard a little bit. I was expecting a bit more of the pick and flick from the tires. They didn't look particularly graspy of loose material. But, I mean, I don't know. Maybe that's better. Yeah, I mean, really, the lower the wheel speed you use to pull over the bean, the better. Because that means that we're relying purely on the grip of the tire. And I feel like these could do it even slower. Yeah, that's a lot of... This is definitely an instance. There's nothing particularly outwardly remarkable about the tread pattern of a trencher. The Predator compound is about as soft as it gets. Get along there on the side, and we'll just try this. Low here, keep that front. Yeah. That's a lot. That's a lot. And I've said, this is the perfect test conditions for Predator compound. So there's definitely some advantages here. Can't take that away from it though. I mean, yeah, look at it. The sidewalls on these are beyond soft. Like they're mushy. The ProLine foam is doing a great job here. This is a tire that I feel like almost certainly would require something dual stage to get it to its maximum. But yeah, that's a lot of grip. And unlike some other tires that we've tested recently, the grip profile is very rounded so far. The forward drive isn't particularly taking away from other aspects. Let's see the pull here. I expect it to just, yeah. Once I got to a spot where all the hard plastics were clear, just pull straight over. This is an instance where I think the only potential hole, the problem that we're going to find, if we do indeed find one, is going to be stuff like side hilling. There's not a ton of sidewall lug on a trencher, but it's so soft. Like the compound's so crazy exotic. It's going to wear crazy fast, but we're getting a lot of traction out of it. What would I say at Slick Rock? I have to say what I have to say. That's a 9.8. That's a 9.8 on forward drive. Any hesitation there was just a little wiggle, and it's right through. It was just that we weren't in the precise line that we needed to be. Some nice little angular lighting there from the rising of the sun. This is that spot where we hang, we see, but there's, yeah. Remarkably grippy. And the further you stay right, the better you are doing. All right, it's sitting on a, that's a 9.7. That's a 9.7. It's sitting on a 9.7. We have to do the pull up here at the other side, and the only thing that it has an opportunity to do here is lose a tenth. If we get some hesitation or too much shuttling right here, trying the real low, and there's none. Yeah, 9.7 easy through there. Just so on it. Sort of semi-official here. I don't know how much we're relying on the performance here at the crack. I just kind of want to see it. This one, the further right you are, the better, much like Daphne's. There's nothing on the front axle, and it's still holding it. That's two wheels. The fronts aren't touching. Try to get it across. Self-right test. It's good. And it might hop out and surprise me, but I don't see these collapsing too much. Of the ProLines that I have tested, these foams are reacting to, they must monospec the foam. Like they buy a foam in this OD and they just put it in everything. So you're gonna find, well, so J Concepts does. You're going to find a tire, not a foam that matches the tire. You're gonna find a tire that matches that particular foam better. And of the options that I have tested so far, the cooperation between this tire and this foam has been the best. It nevertheless, as I said, gooey sidewalls and a between medium and medium soft foam. The tire does not fold over nearly as much as I thought it was going to. I'm trying to come in a little higher angle of attack here. That driver rear is just smashed. Gonna give him one more try here on the side hill, and the side hill performance has been pretty good. It's just that transition at the end, it puts all that load onto driver rear tire. Like you can see right there, driver rear is not deflecting over as much as one would think based on how soft that sidewall is and how soft the foam is. This is like a medium soft. And they are cooperating. That front end is super light. Gotta try to re-arc it. Nope. All right, we'll take the straight cut up here. I want to see the transfer to the rear. Yeah, it's just that transition where they're coming straight across, it's really difficult, and we have to factor that transition in. And I know it's because the tire is very soft and the insert is also very soft. I can't go above like a 7.5 because I tried like 3 different lines of position to get it. The word I'm thinking of is there, and I couldn't get there. So again, sidewall is usually the killer of a particularly high score, and he gets a 7.5. I can hear the editor cursing right now about deep shadow, super bright. We'll see how this balances out. Can he pull? Oh yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Watch the descent. Yeah. Nice tight little circle around. Can we pull this without a bump? Little traction hop there. Again, in this particular instance, insert would be acting overly soft. Kind of got the pumpkin over that rock and then over, and without a bump again. Again, that load to passenger front corner just squish. Yeah, self-right is real strong. Oh, yeah, that's a 9.8. This morning light is harsh, and there is not a cloud in the sky today. We're gonna do left-hander first, as is tradition. Right through here. Okay, so what we've done right there, pulling up over to that side, that's not usually a thing that happens. But we've got an overwhelming amount of grip, as it should be. This should be as grippy as it gets, really. But an excess of grip without the additional factor of being able to put it where I want to put it is something of an issue. There we go. There we go. You're bringing it back. See the pirouette here. Again, very tight. Yeah, that self-right is bizonkers. Yeah, that, like, there's enough grip that one tire can do the work. Like, you can get where you need off of one tire. It's an excess of grip. And if I had laid down hard, cold cash money, I can hear how much that grip costs. There's no lug noise. There's none. These are just stealth creeping over everything because this is compound. And we are definitely making a trade here. And the exchange that is being made is grip over all. So, horrible entry line. Horrible entry line. Way too far right. Just pushes it back. Bish, bosh. How did he do over there on the side hill stuff? It's a 9.7. No, it's a 9.8. That was a 9.8 on that. He's sitting on a 9.8 right here. Just needs to not ruin the soft side here. Ooh. Yeah, the floppiness. I would expect more floppiness. There's an absence of floppiness with how soft the sidewall is and how soft the foam is, right? Now you're more back towards the hard side. So that was a center cut. You want to get over here. Yeah, there it is. I'm going to have to give it a 9.7 due to some very small hesitations. But remember, the scale only goes to 9.9. So we'll come across here. I imagine the drive here, just got to get to the spot. The drive here is going to be, like, whatever angle I approach this at, it's going to pull up the face, which is why we're here to test bumps. I do want to test one more. Let me see how well we can position here. Yeah, the positionability is really high. Right here. It's all belly. Yeah, I still like it. It's a 9.6, maybe a 9.7 on the bump. I mean, on the self-right. And the performance at Daphne's third is a 9.8. And now we will test the bump here. We're mostly looking for straightness. How straight does the bump come out? Little hop, little frog hop there. Nothing like a donkey. There's a good donkey. But I leaned into it because we're kind of trying to pop that rear end up. It's got a little bit of hop, more hop than I would anticipate on a tire this soft and a foam this soft. But because there's so much grip, the amount of bump you actually need is very, very small. Very small. Like I'm giving it about 20% more throttle than, like if I'm going for a straight take. See, because we're in this hollow, so I back up just the tiniest bit. So in bump terms, that's a 9.7 again. So what did we say? 9.8, Daphne's third. 9.7 on the bumps. And I'm going to put the self-right at about a 9.6. Because there are some tires that you just give it a little input and boom, you're on your wheels. So a 9.8, a 9.7, a 9.6. Let's hope that I can get them in the correct order on the whiteboard. That leaves us just with surface transition and wet performance, and honestly, if the wet performance suffers at all, I will be astounded. I won't even know what to make of it. I feel like this is a tire that isn't going to care wet or dry. The insert is what's giving us any sort of unpredictability because it's very soft. Let's see if we can get right there. Yeah, that's position. There's the position, and come on. Now, I will say, there it is. The compound is so soft that honestly, that performance we're trying to do, that little pull bump, this tire doesn't want a ton of wheel speed. So sometimes, like right behind me, there's a bunch of fresh Canyon blend on the newer obstacle, which is very chalky. And to get through that chalkiness, wheel speed is the only thing that works because the tire can't find any purchase. So you kind of have to burn through the chalk on the top to get purchase. And these would not be very good at that because they don't like a lot of wheel speed. The Trencher Predator, or in my assumption, any tire in Predator is going to prefer lower wheel speed. That's an 8-inch vertical right there. Yeah, the turning circle with this guy's caster it's this big. It's the size of a manhole cover. And the Trencher, lending, I think, to its roots as a monster truck tire. I've had these on short course trucks. I've had these on Stampedes. They are that all-around tread. I don't think there's anything about this tread itself that particularly lends to rock crawling. I think the compound is doing all, not most of the heavy lifting, all of the heavy lifting. We could have virtually any tread on there in this compound and it would work. So all that's left for us now is the wet test and math. But as is tradition, we pull over it again. Yeah. This is a tire that out of the package is probably as good as it's going to get. It has so much traction, and the traction is uniform throughout the traction profile. If we're imagining that wheel of triangles when you're setting up your boxer in the boxing game, it's like maxed out in every category, to where when you have to fight that guy against the AI, you're like, this is cheating. Yeah, there's that much grip. The only thing I would say that and we don't measure it in quick views or junk views, the only thing that this thing could possibly have going against it is stamina. Did it behave at all differently wet versus dry? No, absolutely not. I want to say, oh, maybe there's a tiny little bit more slip, but I would get right here, we'd get a little bit of slip motion and any steering input at all, and it's right over the top. So let me reposition here. Yeah, I didn't think it would care that it's wet, and it doesn't. There's no loss of traction in the wet at all. It drives exactly the same. So we've finished our 10, and I am confident enough in this that hopefully in the next quick view that you see, we won't have our buddy the whiteboard anymore, and it'll be a little thing I print out on cardstock so I can carry it around with me and not have to run back here to the driver's stand area to scribble numbers down. The Trencher's pulled 1, 2, 3, 4 9.8s, 3 9.7s. The weaknesses of this tire would be the side hilling, because you're going to need something fancy. And if you're buying Predator Trenchers, in my head, I just assume you're factoring some sort of 3D printed insert into the cost, or at the very least, something dual stage. Because there's that little dude. This is a compy tire, even though it says Trencher. You're not going to trail this tire. You're going to wear all the lugs off and have a slick pretty quickly. 10 categories added up to a total of 94.6 points out of 99. And we divide that by 100, and that's by 10, and that's 9.46. And I think that's right. This tire is just under a Tusk or a Megalithic. It's just behind it. And that's on the paper, on paper scores. There is that wear factor. These are going to wear significantly faster than J-Concept's Green. J-Concept's Green, or even in ProLine's own G8, they are not hyper-aggressive compounds. This is a hyper-aggressive compound. And I will stand behind my contention that all of the grip here is coming from the compound. If you have a Predator, if we took another tire, if we took a Predator, whatever, a flat iron, whatever, and brought it out here, I think it would be right there. The traction profile might move around a little bit. I think that low lug is, okay, it's like a 5% contribution because there's not too much of a big lug. That said, I think this lug would load up. Though, who's driving Predator compound tires in the mud? Who's trailing on Predator compound tires? For a pure rock crawling tire, these are, I'm 100% fine with a score of 9.46. I think it's accurate. They did I knew they were going to do well, and they did every bit as well as I thought they would. And the only thing to factor into your purchasing decisions are these will wear, and these pulled a 9.46 in the best case scenario. From the time this is being recorded, fast forward about 6-7 days in the future, it's going to be about 95 degrees out here. I could revisit this. I could leave these mounted and bring these out here when it's 95, and we'll see how the Trencher Predators do in 95 versus, I never even looked, it's 56 degrees. So these tires love this. If you're routinely driving or competing or doing whatever you're doing and the temperature is in the 50s, these are going to be really hard to beat. Really hard to beat. But I'm going to guess past 80, like even 85, these are going to start to act a little greasy. So we might have to do that. It might require a revisit where I'll leave these mounted up to these wheels, throw them up on the rack, and on a hot day, we'll take them out and we'll do a quick revisit of this because, we want to full flesh it out. But that's not how Quickviews work. This is how Quickviews work, and this Quickview has finished. The Predator ProLine Trencher is a 9.46, which is up there. That's up there with the top. So thank you so much for watching. If you have any comments, if you have anecdotal or empirical evidence to offer in support or non-support of Predator compound tires, please do mention it in the comments below. Or if you have anything else you would like to say in the comments, just do that. Likes and subscriptions are free. Channel memberships cost a pittance. Look in the description below. You can buy a Crawler Canyon t-shirt if you are so inclined. I make $2 per shirt. So thank you all so much for watching. I will see you again very soon. In between now and whenever that might be, I do invite you one and all to do your very best to have a good one, everybody. I will see you in the next one. Baseline, we'll see you in the next one. I just realized the controller is right here next to my head. We are going to do this. We'll see you next time, everybody.